Hello and welcome, not to the Geek Club, but to the living room. Oh yes, how many people can you say have got something like this in their living room? Not only something like this, but it sits on top of Upper Neo-geo start. Yeah. Anyway, last time we saw this, we got the log on screen like this, but when we tried to log on, we found out that some of the keys weren't working. Well, now, I'm just doing that because it bypasses that mess. Now, when we try and log on, there we go, we can log in, because now all the keys are in fact working. Now, how do we do that? Well, here's a quick video I did a while ago when I was repairing the keyboard on how that's done. Okay, 19 screws later, an incredibly sore finger. Probably sore finger. Right, what we're going to do is take the keyboard itself away. I had to take the space bar off because there's a screw underneath the space bar, so it's already been removed. And here is the contact plate itself, and as you can see, each key has a contact underneath. When you press the key down, a little metal foil comes down and makes an electrical contact between these two. Now, my first suspect for it not working was these traces here. As you can see, in the past, they've been damaged by something getting in and corroding. There's another area here. But when I did the continuity testing on these, turned out they worked fine. So it was the keys themselves. What I eventually found out is, if we look at the keys themselves, there we go. There's the keys, and as you press a key, that one's a bit stuck. I have to fix that one. Right, as you press a key, foam pad comes up, makes contact, and it should sit just below level of the keys there, like that. But on some, like the space full stop, they're not coming far enough up. Where is it? There it is. They're not coming far enough down, which is why the contact's not being made. So what I had to do with these, a few that have, well, a couple, that one has failed. Right. So what I had to do with these, as you'll see, what I'll do, I shall show you how I do this. Now, I'm going to be working on the full stop key, which is that one. So remember that one. Okay, what I'll do, I'll zoom in on it. There we go. And refocus, please. Please refocus. Come on. There we go. Okay. It is that one. Make sure, doubly sure. Right, so what we're going to do, we have to remove this little pad here. So if I press up, make sure you can see all this. Yes. Press up, put my screwdriver in and remove the pad. Now you can see that they are foam backed. I'll just put this in the camera there for you to see. Focus. 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 Doesn't want to focus. Now, hang on, what I'll do, I'll zoom out and see if I'll focus on it now. Come on, focus. Anyway, it's not going to focus on it, it's been a pain. Right, these are, these are little foam pads, and you can't see here, but the foam has corroded away, just with sheer age. So, which means that the pad can't get far enough down anymore. So, what we've got to do, focus, 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 please focus, back off a bit. Right, now focus. Okay, there we go. So what we've got to do is press this up, get rid of this foam stuff here. There's a little plate underneath here. I'm going to try and pop out. There we go. Oh, nearly. Hey, there she goes. Right, little plate. And there's all the foam rubbish on it. So what we're going to do, because this can't come far enough down, I'm going to make it out of tinfoil. Tinfoil, oh yes. I'm going to make a little circular thing, which will, in practice, just replace the foam. I'll make this small enough that it doesn't catch it on the sides or anything like that. Just pop it back out, shrink it a little bit, and there we go, and put this back in. Okay, we've now made this big enough and shaped it, so what we're going to do is quickly get some glue. I'm just using UHU glue here, and just put a bit of glue in there to hold it in place. Okay, so bit of glue, put in our tinfoil replacement, and then it's not quite right. What I'll do is get my screwdriver in there and shape it around. Oh, poo. Fiddly work, yes, it is. Okay, and once that's in, just put a little knob of glue on the top of that. And replace our backing pad. Now some of these came off with the silver contact anyway, so it didn't need to do this next bit, but as the silver bit came off its backing plate, we shall use a wee bit of glue there too. Come here, get off. Stop nicking my plate, you bugger. Right. Get our little, just checking still, see what's going on. Right, get our little plate back in position. Oh, none of the other keys were this difficult to work on. Alright, we'll put our contact disc back in position and make sure it's not touching any of the sides, which it is because it's been sodding awkward. And then once that's done, there we go. This fiddly work. We shall leave this alone to dry for a few hours. Bit of glue causing problems there. Why did I choose this as an example? It's the only one that's messing me around. What a pain. Okay, there we go. That's all in. So, that's how we've had to repair each and, well, most of the keys on this. So there we go. We'll put this back in the system and show you around it. To gain 17 more screws back in. 19 screws actually, back into it. Right, I'll be back. Alright then, so once we got that fixed, the first thing we found out was that some of the keys were giving random codes, like ASCII codes, escape codes, instead of what they were giving. We're going to have a look at how that was fixed. Well, first of all, I want to look at how the system is configured. Now, as you may know, it's running via a USB cable to the laptop, and I'm running FreeBSD, which is a Unix system, inside of VirtualBox. So I'm running a virtual Unix system on my laptop, which this thinks is an old Unix mainframe, such as a PDP-10, something like that. So what we've got to do is to configure FreeBSD to use this. Yes, this is a geeky techno video. It's not more such an entertainment video as a video about configuration, so it's a bit technical, more technical than usual. But anyway, what we have to go do is configure a file to tell it that this is what terminal we're using. So let's go and see how we do that on the laptop. Right, here we have FreeBSD set up on the laptop. I don't usually run it in full screen, it's just for clarity, so you can see what I'm doing. Now if I log on to this, the same as the terminal. There we go. Greetings, Professor Falcon. I'm scared. We can now go into the configuration files. So what we need to do is go into CD spacebar. That means go to the root directory, I think. And we can now go change directory etc, which is where the file is located. And well, we'd usually use etc, which would edit it, but we'll just look at where it is in the file. So cat ttys, which is the file which controls the configuration, and there it is. This is the line. I think this has been auto generated by the system because this wasn't there before, but TTY0 is the physical console 0. So you need to go in, and this will all be same as this, dial up off secure. You need to change this to Regent 25 on secure. There was also a file called Getty, which is in the same direction, the same directory. The definition of the console is in there, so all the details of how the console works, theoretically, are in there, and that's how we configure it from there. Now the other thing we'll need to know, other thing that gave us loads of problems initially, is the COM port settings. Now for this one, to change these, go into control panel, hardware and sound, device manager. Now when you first plug the USB adapter into here, it will hopefully try and install this here. It's called Prolific USB to Serial. If it can't, then you need to download this and install it. Go to port settings, advanced. Now one of the problems we had with this system when we first plugged it in is it just wouldn't talk to the USB. Nice aircraft flying over. So it installed it on COM4, and we looked at this, changed. I think it's going to crash on me. Maybe not. We changed 3BSD COM port setting to COM4 to match, but it wouldn't work. So what we did, we changed this to COM1, and 3BSD to COM1, and then it worked. Now if you're having the problem with the screen, the keys showing up the wrong bits, the wrong characters, then you need to keep playing with these. But the ones I found for my console, which are not all on the back of the console, which makes it more difficult to try and figure out, took a long time. You need a baud rate of 9600, 8 data bits, parity of none, stop bit 1, flow control none. Now there is also a file in FreeBSD that controls the parity. Now for the life of me I cannot remember what that file is called, so if anybody knows, please leave a message in the comments and I'll annotate it on the screen at this point. So that is how we configure it. So after doing all that, we now have a working terminal with all its keys working, and it's perfectly happy. So if I zoom into the screen for you, what we can do is go into that TTYS file I showed you earlier on this, cd slash, oh no, cd ls, see where we are, cd slash, right, cd etc, and type the command cat and then the name of the file, which is ttys. What this will do is display the contents of the file. Don't worry if you don't understand all this. What I intend to do is some tutorials on this to show how to use this Unix system, and I will show you some programs, games, and which something might surprise people. I'm going to be showing you this surfing the internet, playing online games, doing mail, searching Google, oh yes, and using Telnet as well. So there's a lot of interesting things that this system can do. But if we do that, we can see the terminal is working fine there, and there it is. Type in the contents of the TTYS file, showing the entry for the Regent 25 there. So there we go. That's all there is to configuring it. It's now working. We can prove it's working. All working lovely and fine. And one last thing. There was a certain person who on my last video sort of made a bit of a snotty comment saying that this sort of thing would be too difficult for me to do, to set up. Said I'm not intelligent, well, insinuating that I'm not intelligent to do enough to do this sort of thing. So to that person I have one little comment. Thank you very much.